All right, let's settle a big one. We've got two of the hottest electric sedans on the block. In one corner, a Scandinavian powerhouse that looks like it drove straight out of the future. In the other, the next chapter for a legend in German performance. This isn't just a comparison, it's a clash of ideals. You've got the Polestar 2, a car that mixes minimalist, tech-first design with the kind of all-wheel drive punch that tries to rearrange your organs. And then you have the BMW i4, a machine from the company that literally defined the ultimate driving machine, promising a connection to the road that speaks directly to the driver. The question seems simple, but the answer is anything but. Can the Polestar 2's raw power and groundbreaking Google-powered brain dethrone the BMW i4's famously sharp and engaging driving dynamics? Is instant sledgehammer force enough to beat a chassis honed over decades? In this video, we're going to tear them down. We'll crawl through the interiors, pick apart the tech, launch them off the line, and carve them through the corners. By the end, we'll have a definitive answer to which of these premium EVs is the true driver's car. Exterior design and styling. Let's start with what you see first, the design. And right away, the different personalities of these two cars are on full display. They're both technically four-door fastbacks, but they get there from two completely different planets. First up, the Polestar 2. This thing doesn't just look modern, it looks like tomorrow. It's pure Scandinavian minimalism in action, favoring clean lines, sharp angles, and an almost architectural vibe. It has this unique stance, sitting somewhere between a high-riding sedan and a slick crossover. The belt line is high, the windows are compact, and the surfaces are incredibly uncluttered. It's a design that's confident because it doesn't have to shout. Up front, the family resemblance to its parent company, Volvo, is clear with those Thor's hammer LED headlights, but they sit in a face that is all Polestar. Instead of a traditional grille, you get the Smart Zone. It's not just a blank panel. It's a hub for sensors, cameras, and the radar for its advanced driver assistance features. It's form-following function, literally. Move to the side, and the details are subtle but brilliant. The frameless mirrors are a fantastic high-end touch that cuts down on wind noise while looking incredibly slick. A strong shoulder line runs the length of the car, giving it a solid, powerful presence. Now, for 2025 in the US, the dual-motor model comes only one way, fully loaded with the Performance Pack. That means you get these gorgeous 20-inch forged alloy wheels that barely hide the massive Brembo brake calipers, painted in Polestar's signature Swedish gold. It's a pop of color that screams, "This car means business." And then there's the rear. Arguably the car's best angle. The full-width light bar is sharp, geometric, and impossible to mistake at night. It wraps around the corners, making the car look wide and planted. The lift-back trunk is so well integrated it just looks like part of the design. The whole vibe is a concept car that escaped the auto show and hit the streets. It doesn't beg for attention, but it gets it by being so unique and meticulously designed. This is for the person who appreciates architecture and a brand that's carving its own path. Now let's talk about the BMW i4. Where the Polestar is all about a new identity, the i4 is deliberately, unmistakably a BMW. It's evolution, not revolution. It takes the sleek, elegant shape of the 4 Series Grand Coupe, long hood, flowing roofline, classic proportions, and adapts it for the electric age. It's lower, longer, and wider than the Polestar, giving it a more traditional athletic stance. And yes, let's address the elephant in the room, that grille. The huge vertical kidney grilles have been the most talked about part of modern BMW design. But just like on the Polestar, it's not actually a grille for cooling an engine. It's a single enclosed panel hiding a similar suite of cameras and sensors. Love it or hate it, it gives the car serious road presence. For 2025, it's flanked by new, sharper adaptive LED headlights that give it a menacing look. From the side, the i4 is classic BMW. You have the iconic Hofmeister kink at the C-pillar, a design cue found on BMWs for decades. The door handles sit flush for better aerodynamics, and the long wheelbase pushes the wheels out to the corners, promising stability and a sporty drive. Our i4 M50 test car gets more aggressive bumpers, blacked-out trim, and distinct M-design wheels that fill out the wheel arches perfectly. The rear of the i4 is broad and muscular. The L-shaped taillights make the car look wide, and on the M50, a sculpted diffuser hints at its performance, even without any exhaust pipes. Just like the Polestar, the i4 is a 5-door liftback, which is a huge practical plus, but it hides it under a shape that just screams sports sedan. So, side by side, you have two totally different takes on EV design. The Polestar 2 is the minimalist architect, clean, structural, and unique. It looks like nothing else on the road. The BMW i4 is the tailored athlete, muscular, traditional, and leveraging a century of design heritage to telegraph its sporty mission. The Polestar asks you to appreciate a new kind of beauty, while the BMW refines a look you already know means performance. Which is better? That's all you. Let us know in the comments which one you'd rather have in your driveway. Interior, tech, and infotainment. Stepping inside these cars feels like walking into two different versions of the future. The design philosophies from the outside are turned up to 11 in here, especially when it comes to the tech and how you interact with it. Let's start with the BMW i4. Open the door, and you're greeted by a cabin that feels both futuristic and comfortingly familiar. It's a classic driver-focused cockpit, angled right at the person behind the wheel. The immediate feeling is one of pure, premium quality. The materials feel expensive. Our i4 M50 is trimmed with beautiful Vernasca leather, but even the standard Sensatec feels high-end. You'll find soft-touch materials everywhere. The switches have a satisfying, weighty click. It feels solid, well-built, and every bit a premium car. But what really grabs you is the BMW curved display. It's a stunning piece of glass that merges a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and a massive 14.9-inch central touchscreen. The graphics are razor-sharp, the colors are vibrant, and the whole setup looks incredible. It runs the latest version of BMW's iDrive 8.5 operating system. This system has been polished for over 2 decades, and it shows. But here's its secret weapon, and a huge difference from the Polestar, the physical iDrive rotary controller on the center console. This, along with shortcut buttons, means you can navigate the whole system without ever touching the screen. It's a massive win for safety and ease of use, letting you keep your eyes on the road. The system is a powerhouse, with cloud-based navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and My Modes that change everything from the ambient lighting to the throttle response. The synthetic motor sound in the i4 M50, co-created with composer Hans Zimmer, is a perfect example. In Sport Boost mode, it builds with a deep crescendo that adds a real sense of drama to acceleration. It might sound like a gimmick, but it adds to the emotional experience of driving fast. Ergonomically, everything is right where you'd expect. The thick M Sport steering wheel feels perfect in your hands, and the sport seats are fantastic, with tons of adjustment to hold you in place through corners. In the back, space is decent for 2 adults, though that sloping roofline can make headroom a little tight for taller folks. Now, let's switch to the Polestar 2, and the contrast is immediate. If the BMW is a luxury tech lounge, the Polestar is a minimalist Scandinavian loft. The design is clean, airy, and free of clutter. There's a real lack of buttons, with almost everything controlled through the central screen. The materials tell a different story of luxury, one focused on sustainability. Our car has WeaveTech upholstery, a vegan, water-based material that feels like a high-end wetsuit, durable and easy to clean. The decor panels are made from reconstructed wood with a beautiful, natural texture. It feels special, but in a totally modern way. Dominating the cabin is the 11.15-inch vertical touchscreen. Think of it as a premium Android tablet built right into the dash, and that's because it is. This is the Polestar's killer app. It was the first car in the world to run on Google's native Android Automotive OS. This isn't just Android Auto mirroring your phone. The whole car is Google. That means Google Maps is your native navigation. It's the same system you know and love, and it's brilliant. It's always connected, has live traffic, and is tied into the car's battery management. When you set a destination, it tells you your predicted battery on arrival and will automatically add charging stops, even preheating the battery for the fastest charge. You also get Google Assistant, which is hands down the best voice assistant in any car. Hey Google, set the temp to 70 degrees. Or hey Google, play my driving playlist on Spotify, and it just works. You can even download apps like Waze or Spotify directly from the Google Play Store. Of course, this screen-first approach has a downside. Simple tasks like changing the fan speed require a tap on the screen. While the voice assistant helps, some will miss the simple feel of a real button. The seats, a hand-me-down from Volvo, are absolutely superb, among the most comfortable in the business. And a cool touch on the Performance Pack model is the Swedish gold seat belts, matching the brake calipers outside. However, the back seat is a weak point. The car is built on a platform designed to also hold an engine, so there's a massive center tunnel in the floor. This makes the middle seat basically useless and cramps foot space for everyone else. So the tech showdown. The BMW iDrive 8.5 is a powerhouse with a beautiful display and the unbeatable ergonomics of the rotary controller. The Polestar's Android OS is simpler, more intuitive, and has the best voice and navigation you can get. Both cars also have top-tier driver assistance with excellent adaptive cruise control and lane centering. Ultimately, the choice comes down to what you value. The traditional luxury, build quality, and driver-focused ergonomics of the BMW, or the clean, sustainable, and tech-forward simplicity of the Polestar? Before we get to the driving, and trust me, you don't want to miss this, if you're enjoying this deep dive, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got more EV showdowns like this coming. Now, let's see how they drive. Performance and driving dynamics. This is it. The heart of the battle. Is the Polestar 2's brutal power enough to beat the BMW i4's legendary driving dynamics? Let's start with the numbers. For 2025, the Polestar 2 for the US market comes in one flavor, long-range dual motor with the Performance Pack. That gives you all-wheel drive, a combined 469 horsepower, and a massive 546 lb-ft of torque. Polestar claims a 0 to 60 time of just 4.0 seconds. In the other corner, we have the BMW i4 M50. This is the first-ever all-electric M performance model, and it brings even more firepower, 536 horsepower, and a staggering 586 lb-ft of torque in Sport Boost mode. That's enough to launch this car from 0 to 60 in a claimed 3.7 seconds. So, what do those numbers feel like? A launch in the Polestar 2 is a lesson in brutal efficiency. There's no drama, no wheel spin, just a violent, instant shove that pins your head back. The all-wheel drive system finds incredible traction and just flings the car forward. It's acceleration that feels almost digital. You press the pedal and it responds with relentless, silent force. It's deeply impressive and very addictive. Now, the BMW i4 M50. The launch here feels even more ferocious. Engage Sport Boost, and the response is savage. The nose lifts slightly, and you are fired at the horizon with an intensity that genuinely takes your breath away. But there's an added layer of drama. That Hans Zimmer-composed sound fills the cabin with a rising sci-fi hum that builds with your speed, connecting you to the acceleration in a way the silent Polestar doesn't. In a straight line, both are brutally fast, but the M50 is the king of the stoplight Grand Prix. But a straight line is just one part of the story. The real question is what happens when the road gets twisty. And it's here that the BMW i4 doesn't just win. It reminds you what's possible in an electric sedan. The i4 M50 is a masterclass in chassis engineering. Every input you make is met with a precise, immediate, and communicative response. The steering is perfectly weighted, direct, and full of feedback. You feel exactly what the front tires are doing, which gives you immense confidence. Despite its weight, the i4 feels agile. The battery is low in the floor, and the weight distribution is near a perfect 50-50. The M50's adaptive M suspension is brilliant. In comfort, it's plush, but in sport, it firms up and keeps the car incredibly flat and composed. The all-wheel drive system is rear-biased, so when you power out of a corner, you can feel the car pushing from the rear, tightening its line. It feels playful and engaging. It shrinks around you and behaves like a proper BMW sports sedan. It's a true ultimate driving machine, just electrified. Now back in the Polestar, it's by no means a bad-handling car. It's competent, secure, and thanks to that immense grip, you can carry a shocking amount of speed through a corner. The steering is precise with 3 weight settings, but even in its firmest setting, it lacks the detailed feedback of the BMW. You point, it goes, but you don't feel as connected to the road. The key feature of the Performance Pack Polestar is its suspension. Manually adjustable Erlin's dual-flow valve dampers. These are high-end parts you'd find on a rally car with 22 settings for firmness. This is amazing for enthusiasts who love to tinker. But there's a catch. They're manually adjustable. To change the front, you pop the hood. To adjust the rears, you have to reach behind the wheels. It's not something you do on the fly. This leads to the Polestar's biggest compromise: ride comfort. The factory setting is firm. Even on the softest setting, the ride is noticeably stiffer than the BMW's adaptive setup in comfort mode. Where the BMW can be a comfortable cruiser one moment and a sharp sports sedan the next with the press of a button, the Polestar forces you to choose. As for braking, both cars offer strong one-pedal driving through regenerative braking. The Brembo brakes on the Polestar provide immense, fade-free stopping power, a big confidence booster. So, to answer our question, did the Polestar's power dethrone the BMW's handling? The answer is a clear no. The Polestar is incredibly fast and capable. But the BMW i4 M50 is a true driver's car. It's more communicative, more adjustable, more playful, and ultimately more fun. It proves the soul of a sports sedan is alive and well in the electric age. Range, charging, and practicality performance is great, but for an EV to work in the real world, it has to be practical. That means we have to talk about range, charging, and daily usability. Let's start with range. The 2025 Polestar 2, with its 79-kilowatt usable battery, has an official EPA estimated range of 254 miles. Our BMW i4 M50, with a slightly larger 81.3-kilowatt usable battery, has an EPA range of up to 267 miles with 19-inch wheels. So, on paper, they're very close. However, in the real world, the BMW has consistently proven to be a bit more efficient, often squeezing more miles out of each kilowatt hour. That might give you a bit more confidence and predictability on a long road trip. When it's time to plug in, charging speed is critical, and again, they're neck and neck. The Polestar 2 can charge at a peak DC fast charging speed of 205 kilobars, while the BMW i4 M50 peaks at a very similar 207 kilobar. More importantly, both cars can precondition the battery on the way to a charger, and both can go from 10% to 80% in about 30 minutes under ideal conditions. For charging at home, both have an $11 kilo onboard charger, which means a full charge overnight is easy. So, in batteries and charging, it's pretty much a tie. The real separation comes with cargo space, and this is a huge, undeniable win for the Polestar 2. Both are 5-door fastbacks where the rear glass lifts up like a hatchback. The Polestar's shape gives it more usable cargo volume, with about 407 liters of space behind the seats, expanding to over 1,095 liters when they're folded. The BMW i4 is also surprisingly practical, with 470 liters behind its seats and up to 1,290 folded down, which is technically more total volume. But the Polestar has an ace up its sleeve, a frunk. It's a 41-liter storage area under the hood, perfect for storing charging cables and keeping them separate from your luggage. The BMW i4, with its long hood covering power electronics, has no frunk at all. In daily EV life, that dedicated cable storage is a small but significant practical win. What about towing? Another clear win for the Polestar. It's officially rated to tow up to 2,000 pounds with a braked trailer, making it a more versatile choice. The BMW i4 is not rated for towing in most markets. Tallying up the practicality scores, the victory goes to the Polestar 2. While the BMW may be a bit more efficient, the Polestar's superior cargo solutions, including that invaluable frunk, and its ability to tow, make it the easier and more versatile car to live with every day. Price and verdict, we've covered design, tech, performance, and practicality. Now it's time to put it all together. Which car is the better buy? First, let's talk about the lineups. BMW offers a range of i4 models, from the rear-wheel drive eDrive 35 and eDrive 40 to the all-wheel drive M50 we're testing. For 2025 in the United States, Polestar has simplified things dramatically. The Polestar 2 is only sold as the top-tier long-range dual motor with the performance pack included. All the previous optional packages are now standard. This means the as-tested price of the BMW i4 M50 is significantly higher than the fully loaded Polestar 2. You're paying a substantial premium for that M badge and the engineering that comes with it. So, let's summarize the key strengths and weaknesses. The Polestar 2's strengths are its unique design, the brilliant Android Automotive OS, and its outstanding practicality thanks to the liftback and frunk. Its weaknesses are its less engaging handling compared to the BMW, a ride that can be uncomfortably firm, and a cramped back seat. The BMW i4's strengths are its absolutely phenomenal driving dynamics that set the benchmark, its luxurious and high-quality interior, and the superb ergonomics of the iDrive system with its physical controller. Its weaknesses are the controversial styling, the lack of a frunk, and a price that climbs very quickly with options. So, the final verdict. We started by asking if the Polestar's power could dethrone the BMW's handling. The answer is a clear no. But that's almost the wrong question. These cars excel in different areas for different buyers. If you're a tech enthusiast, love minimalist design, and want an EV that's incredibly fast, hugely practical, and has the best infotainment and navigation in the business, the Polestar 2 is a fantastic and compelling choice. It's a statement car that's also brilliant to live with, and for many people, it will be the better overall package. But if you are a driving enthusiast first and foremost, if the way a car feels through the steering wheel, the way it balances in a corner, and that magical connection between driver and machine is what you live for, then the BMW i4 M50 is still the undisputed king. It is a triumph of engineering that proves the spirit of the ultimate driving machine is alive and well in the electric era. It is, for the person who loves to drive, the better performance car. That's our take, but this debate is far from over. These are two of the best EVs you can buy, and the choice is incredibly personal. So now we want to hear from you. Which one would you choose? The Scandinavian tech powerhouse or the Bavarian driver's car? Let us know your pick and why in the comments below. We read every single one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this showdown, give this video a like and make sure you're subscribed for more ultimate EV comparisons. We'll see you in the next one.